So good morning. This is called computer simulation. Therefore, today we will already have the description for the course by checking the syllabus. Of course, you know this is the EMI course, so of course I speak English, right? Well, computer simulation offer to students of course, maybe master students or maybe undergraduate students. Well, first of all, about me. This is information about me. My office here, the same building, 5th floor. So it's 506. Normally, you can send me the email, and of course later I will ask you to join the line group for the course. So of course you can contact me through a line. And of course I provide you the phone number here for your reference. Perhaps you cannot find me, then you can use line to find me. Or maybe if you think you want to send me an email, you can use this one. I prefer you send me email through this one, the CSIE email. Or maybe you can send me the email by using the default email on Moodle. So you can use that one as well, but I prefer this one because this one I can check it immediately. Of course, maybe I cannot respond immediately, but at least I can check it immediately. And line ID here. If you think, okay, you will connect to me, so you can use this ID and you can connect to me, and later I will check it. So I can add you to my line. So this line ID. Of course, we have the Moodle system. The Moodle system will that have some PPT slides. If we have the line group, of course, we can use line group to that have the PPT slides directly. So you can check Moodle or maybe you can check line. Normally, I said the office hours to Tuesday 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. for reference. If you want to have a discussion with me, of course, you should let me have an email first and then we can check it is okay or not. So office hour scheduled to Tuesday. Well, we have some platforms to support our course. The first one is YouTube channel. And maybe right now you can try to use YouTube and find at HWFERNG. We have YouTube streaming. I'm not sure right now I activate or not, but I try to activate. I didn't check it, so you can check it. YouTube at HWFERNG, then you can have that one. Of course, this is a QR code. You can scan the QR code, so you will link to the YouTube channel. Of course, if you want to have automatic alerts, for example, once I start the streaming, then if you want to receive the alerts, sure, you can subscribe to this channel, then you will have the automatic alerts. And for this course, I try to have the application of TA. And if yes, we have the TA, then the lab associated with the TA is RB, that building, 306-2. So if you want to find the TA, or maybe later I will ask TA to join the line group if we have the TA indeed. Well, so possibly we may have a TA, or maybe no. Well, next one, yes, we have the course line group. If indeed you think, okay, you will have the course, you can scan this one and join. All right, allow you to have a few minutes to join. For the line group, actually, we can have messages, right? I will send you some information through line. Or maybe you want to have some information to TA or to me. So you can use the line group. Of course, if you want to have the private discussion, you can connect to me directly. So previously, I already have my line ID, or maybe later you join, so you can click on my account offline, then you will have the connection with me. And possibly I may send you the PPT slides. I'm not sure everything's okay or not. If you guys join the line group later after classes, I can upload the PPT slides for your reference. And of course, sometimes if you want to have some information, for example, usually we will have the activity. If you fail to maybe log in some system, not this system, but you want to say something here, that's okay. So interactive feedback. Oh, yes, this one, representative indication. If indeed you think you want to use line to let me know or to let TA know who you are and you serve as a representative, so you want to let us know the information. But normally I do not expect you to use line to let me know this information, because we will ask you to use the next system to have the direct information. So this system, we will have a system Padlet. And right now, I cannot let you have the QR code, because Padlet will have activity-based QR code. So now, right now, if we have activity, then I will let you have the QR code to scan. Or maybe I can use the line group and pass the link, the hyperlink to our line group. So you can click on that link, actually you can join Padlet. And Padlet, actually, you can use, for example, right now, you use Google to search Padlet, and then you can be familiar with that one. Or maybe you can download the app of Padlet. So if you have the Padlet, you can try to check what's the possible way to input. You can have the file, upload the file to Padlet. So you can write something down, or maybe you can take a picture or something else. So if you want to know more about Padlet, you can use Google to check the possible way to key in. And why we want to have a Padlet? Actually, Padlet is an electronic wall, 电子墙. So we will have the electronic wall, you can post something there, and so that we can have the possible information. For example, right now, let me check some possible past activity for your reference. So this is the web that dedicated to the previous computer simulation. So it's the 2025 screen. So we have some activity here. And for all of the activity, we should directly have the link and the QR code individually so that you can join the activity. And right now, I just want to show you, we have the electronic world, so what it looks like. Well, if I do not have the arrange column, then all of you can use your app or maybe your way to key. For example, we have the way to write something down and then you can take a picture, or maybe you can have, for example, me, I upload the file. All right, so we may have some way, and in fact, we have the password way to allow you to key in, so don't worry. Just try to check what's the password way you want to use. So this is the palette, and in fact, we will use it later once we have the password activity. So this is a palette, and we will have the group discussion, or maybe I call theme, pair, share discussion. In fact, almost the same, but I try to ask you to have the groups. For the groups, later I try to really have the group page. All right, so I will really have the way to have the group formation. Well, if we have the activity, we will have the groups. And for all of you, of course, you will have the discussion within the group. And for some of you, you will serve as the presenter. So I ask some of you to share your idea after the discussion. So you can have the presentation by the presenter, or I call the representative. And that one, the presenter can receive the bonus of points. Normally I set it to 2 points. I will use points, some like the credit points. And for the credit points, you can accumulate, and so that you can have the corresponding points for participation. Well, I don't know, for the presenter, you will receive a bonus of points. Bonus. That says the actual points. So I encourage the presenter to share the idea, or maybe some discussion within the group. So it doesn't mean, okay, I want to serve as a presenter always. No. Within your group, for all the members, you can think how to rotate, and so that each one can have the chance to serve as a presenter. So you can think about that one. And about the groups, later I don't know how we have the group formation. It doesn't mean we have the permanent group. Normally I will ask you to change every 3 weeks, or maybe every week you want to change, that's fine. Well, you may have a question. If you change the group, is it okay? Yeah, it's okay, because we have a Padlet. I will ask all of you to upload your solution to the problem, and so that we can check your name. So of course, you try to have the email can be identified by TA or by me, and so that we can know who you are, and so that we know it's you, so we can really have the points. And of course, it's the electronic world. Why I want to use this one? Because you can share your answer, but the answer can be shown on the projector. So all of you can see the possible answer on the projector. So it's convenient to share the information. So that's why I use Padlet for information sharing or content sharing. Well, we have YouTube. We have, of course, for language, I think it's easy. And we have Padlet. And next one, we have IRS. It's the whole article. Sometimes I want to know your selection, ideas, or maybe some opinion. I will use IRS. Whole article here. So for this QR code, it's a permanent QR code. You can always use the QR code to join whole article once we have a whole article for you. Or maybe you think, okay, it doesn't work to scan the QR code, so you can use the hyperlink here, wholeed.com/this one. All right, so you can use this, and it's fixed. It's a permanent hyperlink. It's a permanent QR code. So next time, if you have any difficulty to join, you can use the permanent one. You can bring this one and scan for yourself. For example, okay, you think it's too tiny to scan, then you can use your permanent QR code to link to the IRS whole article here. And actually, we have some who want to use this. It doesn't mean we use Padlet. Padlet actually serving as the information sharing, so it's easy to post something there. But this one, I want to have a poll to know your, for example, comprehension or understanding of the specific content. That's why even we have the Padlet, I still ask you to be familiar with the whole article here. Well, up to now, I think maybe you notice we have the subtitles. I'm not sure. How about the accuracy of the subtitles? Maybe some of you think, okay, it's all right. Or maybe for international students, sometimes it's wrong, right? But if you know it's wrong, that's good, right? Because you know what I talk to you. For Taiwanese, or maybe for some of you, if you think you need to rely on the subtitles, 字幕, sure, you can refer to this. In the past, we can have live presentation, so that we have something like the QR code. Then you can scan, you can use your cell phone. But I'm not sure why I cannot use that function. Actually, the function offered by Microsoft perhaps maybe different rate. So currently I cannot use it. In the past, I can use live presentation. Live presentation, something like we have the subtitle shown on your cell phone. And shown on your cell phone, in fact, you can roll the screen to the very beginning page. So if you want to check the content of the very beginning page, that's okay. Actually, let you know, this semester maybe we cannot use that function, live presentation. Instead, we still can have subtitles, so you can check subtitles if necessary. And maybe for some of you think, why I cannot speak Chinese? Because this is an EMI course, so I try to have much more English possibly. So of course, currently I try to have all content delivered in English, and sometimes I may have some key terms in Chinese. So if possible, I will speak a bit Chinese. It doesn't mean I speak always in Chinese. Well, so we will continue to share objectives for the course. But up to now, we have some platforms and also some information about me. So let me start here and ask you any questions about the line QR code. I think you scan and join, right?
Yes.
Yes, right? Okay. So let me pass the syllabus to you first. So wait a moment. So you can share our line group. Right now I already have the PDF to cover the syllabus, so you can check it. So feel free to check the content there. Almost the same as the PDF slides, but it's a file. So of course, it is a detailed description for our code, so you can check that one. Am I right? So you can find the file on our line group right now for the syllabus. And of course, you can check the information about me, check the platform we will use, including YouTube, of course, for Pilot actually currently for reference, and Power Everywhere. So QR code for YouTube is a permanent QR code. And QR code for Power Everywhere, yes, it's a permanent QR code there. So if you want to join by using your QR code, that's okay. I mean, the QR code to my YouTube channel, QR code to Power Everywhere, you can have your own way. And so next time, if it's hard for you to scan the QR code on the projector, you can use your own QR code to join. Of course, for Pilot, I will already have the hyperlink. Alright, so right now, just for reference, I try to choose some possible Pilot link to you, but it doesn't mean you want to key in something. No, I just try to have some possible activity of Pilot for your reference. So I try to let it have one link. So wait a moment. So it's our course, but this is a claim for the final project topic. And just for your reference, Currently, I'm not sure you can provide your idea on the Padlet page or not, but normally I will freeze it. So, of course, you just try to have a link to Padlet. And if you think you want to have the app, you can try to download the app. And you can have the association of your profile with Padlet. And next time, you will have the automatic link to Padlet easily. Well, so we have some platform for the code. So about that one, any possible questions? If no, let me continue. Computer simulation will have the following objectives. We will emphasize how we can have the performance evaluation by using simulation. Also, we will study have the possible way to have the mathematical approach, but we mainly focus on simulation approach. And then have a mathematical approach for reference only. So it should be simulation approach. And the simulation approach will work based on the probability theory and statistics. Well, you may have a question. Simulation, why we want to use probability theory and statistics? Because we want to capture the probabilistic features of the system. So we will use probability theory. And about statistics, because we need to have the measure. So to have the measure, we will have the statistics to activate the possible performance evaluation. So that's why we will have the probability theory and then pass on statistics to have the measure. So of course we have simulation, and this one, part 1, from our main task book. Later we can show you that one. So we will then have the quick review of probability theory. Maybe I will go through that one possibly quickly, because I think maybe I think you will have the background of probability theory and statistics, or maybe no, but I will try to go through that one quickly. And so then we will have the advanced materials. For the advanced materials, if I go through the advanced material, it takes time. So possibly I will then have some video for viewing. So advanced material, I will use the free classroom style to have it. Of course, we have the implementation. And for the implementation, I will select some of my previous paper to then have the case study. And so that same, possibly I may have some discussion using the video for your reference. So you will have the case study. And the final one is the optional one, performance analysis using the mathematical approach for your reference. Or maybe yes, we have some, and show you some possible tools to have the mathematical performance analysis. Therefore, yes, we focus on how to have the simulation technique, so that you can have the performance evaluation for your system. It doesn't mean the network, but at least we have the computer networks or computer systems. And we will have the implementation by checking some of the case study. And of course, for you will have your own simulation program to have the simulation for the topic system. Well, so if we have the content there, then your learning objectives at the end of the course, it should be identify the simulation techniques. that says you know how to have the simulation techniques so that you can have the simulation program. Specifically, you know how to generate a random variable. It's a random value for the phenomenon for the system. And if you can identify, then you can apply, modify those simulation techniques for a specific system or application. So you have the techniques and apply the programming language, then you can have the simulation program, right? So how to have the simulation and using programming language, then you can have the simulation programs. Well, to have a simulation, of course, you should have the suitable model. So choose or judge a simulation model. Well, why do you think choose? Actually, something like you should determine the details of the system. Maybe you have, for example, 10 items of the system, but it doesn't mean you should have all 10 items. Actually, you want to simplify so that you can speed up and so that you can speed some complicated description for the system. So here we have choose or judge. So it depends on your options. Maybe you think, okay, I want to have the simplified version. So you just choose 3 items there. Or maybe you think, no, I don't want to have the simplified version. I want to have the detailed version. Even for the detailed version, you still choose 8, for example, 8. Or maybe you think you are really picky. So you want to have 10 items to describe the system. That's fine. So choose or judge. Now for the simulation, you want to have the measure. So you will collect simulation data. And so that you can calculate the measures. Of course, once you have the measure, you can assess the system, right? And of course, once you have that one, then you can have the evaluation. But here, the evaluation using mathematical approach. So that says we can have many approaches, including simulation, including the mathematical approach, or maybe the others. But at least for us, we can have simulation at least. If you want to have more, you can try to have the mathematical approach to have the evaluation. However, this one maybe you think it's not easy. It's true. So this is the learning objectives for you. Identify the techniques and apply them and along with the programming language so that you can have the simulation program and so that you can have the evaluation for your selected system. Well, so this is the learning objectives. Well, on that one, I think you can identify at least we will have the simulation techniques, and then you need to use programming language to write a program. To write a program, we will already have maybe 2 programming assignments. Alright, 2 programming assignments. And finally, for the final project, you will have the programming again. So maybe 3 times for the programming assignment, including one final project. For the exercise, the exercise of the problem, just for your reference, I will select some for your reference. It doesn't mean you need to hand in. So later we can that you have the grading policy. You will notice we don't have the handing exercise. No. I ask you to have the practice for the exercise, but it doesn't mean you need to hand in. No. It doesn't mean you need to hand in. Yes, it doesn't mean. That says no need to hand in. Well, next one about the feature of the course, computer simulation, EMI oriented. Up now, I think it's EMI, and you can go through that one quickly. For you, I think about the presentation, of course, you can use presentation in English for sure, and at least 70%. All right. Of course, for most of you, use English as your second language. Maybe some of you are native speaker, so it's not EMI. Everything's okay with you, so it doesn't mean you have any difficulty in delivering the content in English. No problem for you. And for me, I tried several times. If we want to cover the content I set, even later I gotta have a schedule. Sometimes we have holidays on the course day. However, I still schedule the content for you, for example, by using video. So some of that one using the video, and maybe for the other purpose, we still use the video. It doesn't mean we have a lot of video, no. I mean, up now I think not video, but we have the YouTube streaming. So if you want to refer to the recorded video, you can check the stream video for sure. It doesn't matter. But that one I don't think is the video for the purpose of the free classroom learning. No. However, sometimes for some off days, I still then have the video for viewing. Yes, that one is one of the style of free classroom. Or maybe sometimes, yes, I think for some content I try to use the video to shorten the time. Shorten the time, shorten the teaching time. But it doesn't mean shorten your time. Maybe you have a complaint. Professor, it's a joke. Shorten the time. No. It prolongs my time of learning. Well, I think you should consider, if you want to learn more, of course, you should have a different way. Or otherwise, think about the current duration. How many weeks for a semester? 16 only, right? We have maybe we have a midterm or final exam. Then as you should have 2 weeks excluding. So that you have 14 weeks only. And you think you have the tuition fee. But why you think we should have less content for you, right? Maybe you have to complain like that one. But sometimes you think, okay, why you push me so tight? So maybe it's your trial. You should think about that one. It's also my trial. But I think finally my decision, I didn't have the possible content. So how to digest the content, maybe you can have the possible way of schedule. So you can catch up the schedule of the course. So I tried several times. If I don't want to use this style, then I cannot cover all the possible content I schedule. But it doesn't mean I always use this style to teach. So you should have the preparation. We will have the video for your reference. Maybe not reference only. So you should check the video. And after that, I think it's a traditional teaching style. Am I right? Up now, it's a traditional teaching style. But sometimes I will push you to think about some issue, and so that I engage you to join the activity. To join the activity, so we will have the activity. Once we have the activity, I will ask you to participate the activity. So we have the participation. Participation, later we have the grading policy. I will collect the points for your participation. And after I think it's fine. I'm not sure later we have fewer or more students, but I set the group size to 4 to 5. 4 to 5 says, alright, so normally I will have the standing page for the group. And actually we have 6 groups. So for example, group 1. Then we will have 4 to 5 members here. And we will rotate if you think it's boring, so you want to keep the same group till the end of the 3rd week, and then you want to change, that's fine. Or maybe every week you want to join different groups, so that's okay. So we will have the standing page for the group, and for the group size it should be 4 to 5. Or maybe we can change it later. Once we think, okay, which size should be appropriate size, so we can have the determination later. But for the group size, it's 4 to 5. However, for the final project, if you are a graduate student, you prepare the final project for yourself only. If you are an undergraduate student, you can find another partner to form a group. Maybe I change the term. We have an activity, so we have the group. And for the final project, for undergraduate students, you can find 2 to form the team. Alright, so final project, the undergraduate student can find a partner to form a team. But for graduate student, only yourself to serve as a single member for your team to have the final project for the simulation. Well, so let me stop here and later we can continue. Well, before we take a rest, any questions? If no, take a rest first.